because the outside world rejects you.
So the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie is a fan favorite. Everything about it lands so perfect. The story, the voice actors, the designs of the turtles, the music and score of the film, everything just blends so well. It's very surprising that a film that was so popular at the time and that is still so beloved hasn't ever got a release with all the extras all in one place. The deleted scenes, the commentary, a longer cut of the film, behind the scenes footage and photos that you know they have a locker of somewhere. Today, let's talk about some of this extra stuff that has made its way out, whether through a foreign release of the film or even old promotional shots of the movie that really never saw the light of day until the past few years. I'll just go through some of them and explain to you guys what they were to possibly paint you a picture of what an extended version of this movie or a movie with extra bonus stuff might look like if a release like that were to ever come out. Now, the opening of the film we're all familiar with is April going home from work and getting mugged, and the turtle showing up to help her out. But a bigger opening was actually planned, with scenes from the sewers intercutting and the turtle shells raising from the river nearby. Clips from this abandoned scene can be found in the original trailer, and the comic book adaptation of this movie seems to have a similar first few panels when the story is starting out. Steve Barron, the director of the film, also speaks about it in a commentary for the film.
We didn't quite do because we only had 7 weeks to shoot it, and we made it for a relatively low budget, really. It was $7 million at the time, and so, you know, just the turtles alone, you know, were going to take up most of that budget. So it was pretty tight, and so you don't get a great deal of expanse in it. But yeah, this was kind of, in the end, this opening scene, right up to the TV being stolen and things, was shot after the event to cover up a bigger opening that we had in terms of some shells coming out of the sewers and more going on in the sewers world, intercut with a little more epic, I should say, stealing across New York, and it ended up being quite small and quite tight because we just didn't have the cash to pull it off that way.
Now, some of you may be asking, I've never heard of a director's commentary for this film, and that's because it's only available on the German Blu-ray release of the film. And there's actually quite a bit of extra stuff on that German release of the film that some fans may have not seen yet. The biggest one probably being the alternate ending, with April and Danny pitching the idea of a Turtles comic book to a comic book publisher. You can even see the word Mirage written up above Danny and April in the background, which, for those of you who may not know, was the name of the comic book company that started the Ninja Turtles.
Far-fetched!
Now, the German version of this film also has some other footage that those who saw this in the States or elsewhere might have not seen. Now, it's sprinkled throughout the entire movie, but a bulk of this footage is used during the fight with the Foot at April's house. Not only are wacky sound effects used throughout the fight, but Leonardo also has some pretty cool moves that you don't see in the other version. There's also some cool moments with Donatello hitting a foot soldier in the stomach with his bow staff that wasn't in the original. And there's also this weird reaction scene when Michelangelo's spinning on the ground and a foot soldier and Donatello are both kind of freaking out about it. This version of the fight also appears to show April holding Raph a little bit more, and also even has her pull the rug out from under some foot soldiers, with Mikey congratulating her on the move.
Du bist der Nasenbär Nummer 1!
Similar to how he does in their fight at the den later on in the movie. Now, if you look hard enough, you can find more deleted scenes. The Turtle Power documentary briefly shows a deleted scene of a Shredder fight that could have been. It's very brief, but he sits down on the floor after they've rolled out the carpet for him, and a few of his own guys surround him and kind of go at him, and he takes them on all while sitting down. A pretty cool looking scene that didn't make the film. Another scene that has additional footage that appears to have not made the film was the first meetup between Raphael and Casey Jones. It is said that after the fight in the park, when Casey runs away, Raphael chased him into an alley where the fight continued. While although this one's hard to get evidence on, there is a sticker book from back in the day that appears to show Raph sneaking up on him and catching Casey off guard. The caption underneath the photo appears to be a quote from Raphael during the scene saying, "Who's the champ now?" The comic book adaptation of this movie also has a similar section. First they fight in the park, then Raphael chases him, flips over the taxi just like the movie, and they end up in an alley. The way the fight ends in this version of the story is that they both appear to get winded, wheezing, with Casey Jones putting his hand up saying, "Okay, enough already, time out," and Raphael leaning up against the wall saying, "Look, jerk, you think you're helping, but all you're doing is more damage." Then Casey goes, "Look who's talking, I'm trying to save the city, and you're getting in my way. You're scum, just like all the rest, and you're crazy." And Raph goes, "I'm crazy," and Casey replies, "And dangerous." And Raphael just sits there baffled. "I'm dangerous? I'm dangerous? Look in the mirror, pal." And that's how the interaction ends in the comic book adaptation of the movie, which I imagine was what they originally had planned out. Now we're getting into a few smaller ones, but this one had me thinking, as when they're in the farmhouse in the 1990s movie, you see April drawing a sketch of Donatello and then talking about Donatello, following with drawing a sketch of Leonardo and then talking about Leonardo, overlooking Raphael. Now I didn't think about it much back in the day, but now as I'm older, I wonder how come she never sketched Michelangelo? Was there a scene where she talks a little bit about him and it flashing to something Michelangelo is doing? The only thing I could find that kind of points into this direction is extra photos of Michelangelo inside the barn working out, which you do get glimpses of in the training montage in the actual movie, which this has led people to believe that there was a part where she talks about Michelangelo. And also, when Danny asks for the picture of Leonardo sitting down on the chair, you can see that there's 2 sheets left after Danny takes the picture of Leonardo. And this one, also like the previous scenes, has somewhat of a version in the comic book adaptation of this movie. After April talks about Leonardo keeping a constant vigil with Raphael, she does move on to Michelangelo, and she says, "But the one that worries me the most is Michelangelo. He spends all of his time in the barn training alone, withdrawn on the edge." And you can see shots of Michelangelo hitting the punching bag, while April presumably sketches away an image of Michelangelo. This is right before she goes into talking about Casey Jones, so one could assume this is where it was going to fit in the movie as well. Maybe they thought this kind of personality wouldn't fit Michelangelo well, but I do feel like elements of this did seep into the actual movie, as there is a point where you can see Michelangelo on top of the barn screaming "Splinter," but it looks like they replaced his voice with Raphael's voice instead. But this does seem to be remnants of this character arc they were going to take Michelangelo through in the movie. Now the last one I could find is from a foreign website called tortuman.wordpress.com, and this is from a few years back, but there's a few images in this website that show a scene following the battle at April's house when they're escaping the fire. First we see April escaping through the cellar door, followed by Leonardo carrying Raphael out. There is a similar moment in the comic book adaptation of this movie of them coming out through a back door and loading Raph up into the van. It would be interesting to see if there's footage of something similar to this, if they ever recorded something like this and have it stored away. But what did you think of some of these deleted scenes that didn't make it in the final film? Do you want to see them on some kind of special edition Blu-ray? I know I would, and I only say that because next year is the 30th anniversary of the film. It's a big anniversary for this awesome Turtles movie that still to this day holds up. But that's it for this one. Let me know down below what you think. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and press thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you want more Ninja Turtles related content in your life, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. All we talk about on here is old, new, upcoming Ninja Turtle stuff. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in a little bit with another video. Take care. Hey Turtle fans, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to follow me on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's a good way to stay in touch with the channel. And also, if you want, go ahead and give the video a share on your social media platforms, Reddit, Twitter, all that stuff. And let's spread Turtle Mania to the world. Once again, thanks everyone for watching. It really does mean a lot.